Yeah, gotta come in with a big bang. Why not?
Right.
I ain't getting none, so. Oh, welcome, welcome, folks, to another awesome Saturday night here on the Murder Show. I, as always, am your host, Tim. Alongside of me is the wonderful, amazing, handsome, young stallion over there, my co-host, Criminology Chris.
Good evening.
And then over there, of course, everybody knows the director of all social media platforms. That's right. Email her or she will kick your ass. I love my brain, Classroom Jackie.
What's up, guys? Sounded like you were trying to boost his ego over there.
Oh,
yeah.
I was. I was trying to boost something.
Head's getting bigger.
Head's getting bigger, and we're talking about the second head. Welcome aboard, folks, for our favorite night of the week, Saturday nights here on our new time. This will be going forward, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every single Saturday night now. So tonight we got ourselves another good one. As you guys that do sub to our YouTube channel here probably can tell. And I'm not even going to butcher the name, so that's all right. We'll wait to get to that part. No trigger warnings tonight, so we thought we would kind of tune things back, dial it back just a little bit, and not go as intense with the, graphic shit.
Yeah, here at
Just
the Murder Show, we have a softer approach.
Yeah,
Just a little break from the gore.
yeah, just a little break. So
We hit you guys with a lot the last couple of weeks.
yeah. So we hope everybody had a good week, and weekend so far is pretty good. All you Ohio folks here with us, the weather's taking a bit of its drop. Of course, that time of the year, definitely. So taking a drop. I readjusted the camera. One of our fans said they wanted to be able to see me more. Yay, just what I wanted. I had myself hidden more for a reason. Whatever, what do I know? So, and a big shout out to Trash Man. Did I get it right?
No, it's garbage.
Ah, shit. Garbage Man. He bought me a cookie today, and that doesn't even sound right. He bought me a cookie. He wasn't driving a van, so it's okay.
Wasn't a creepy one.
Yeah. No, it was good to finally meet him. He's a big fan of the show, and may or may not be I Love My Brains dad. But anyways, David and Trash Dumpster, thank you. We appreciate it. I can say that now because I'm not in front of you. So that is fair enough.
We also have to thank your biggest sponsor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So we have a sponsor now of the show, Unique Detail LLC. Thank you for sponsoring the show. So if anybody's in the mood and you're in Ohio, Northeast, you got to hit them guys up. I'll try to see if we can share some of their stuff throughout the week, or I'll have, Jackie do it. So thank you, Unique Detail LLC, for sponsoring our show. We do appreciate it. Didn't expect to get any of that so soon, but hey, we'll take it. I also had a pretty wild, let's see, how do I word this? Interaction this week. As most of you guys that watched the show last week, BTK Dennis, Raider, old Denny, we did the show on him, and I did some research after the show, and I, for some reason, wanted to look into maybe I can try to reach out to this guy, and I thought, well, hell, he's not going to respond back. I'll try it. So I figured out a way and reached out to him. A couple days went by, and little behold, I get notified on my phone that I have a message from Dennis Rader. Yeah, quite interesting. I'm not going to get too far into that because I'm not sure how I feel about it, but Dennis is a little bit smarter than I kind of thought. Looked into me a little bit and kind of knew like state I was in and stuff, which I guess, Google, you can do that. Whatever. Anyways, he's trying to have small talk with me now, and I guess he just wants somebody to talk to. And he told me to write him, but he told me don't ask about the latest Netflix documentary that his daughter did. He doesn't want to talk about any of that. And he also did state that he's trying to put the limelight on him to rest by the end of this year. So that's all I really have on that right now, and I don't know if I'm going to go any further with it. So something pretty wild, I guess. Not too many people can say they talk to a, psychopath. But other than that, I will shut up now, and I will let Classroom Jackie kind of jump in. This was Classroom Jackie's pick for this week. For many of you know, we are each going around and doing our picks each week. So, go ahead, Classroom Jackie. The floor is yours. And, yeah, I guess have fun with it. I don't know.
Thanks.
Whose turn is it next week? Is it mine?
It
Yours.
is going to be mine.
Oh, fantastic. Less
So,
pressure.
audience, calm down.
We got a live audience now.
It's
No.
all up to you now. Go for it.
I'm going to start this out with a pretty interesting fact that the known ratio of male killers to female is 9-1. With that being the case, Aileen Wuornos is my pick of the week.
9-1. That's
Mhm.
crazy. Yeah, you don't really hear of too many. I've heard of a few, and I don't know if you guys really know of. I know I've heard of who we're doing tonight, and there was another one I thought I heard of too. There's a few of them.
But, they don't just jump to the top of your head.
No,
And the
no.
unusual thing about this situation, too, is that with female serial killers, typically they take a less violent approach at still killing somebody. I mean, but they still take a semi less violent or aggressive approach toward murder in general.
It's not like dismembering or complete
No,
gore.
normally it's like a poisoning or something such as that. It's typically nothing to do with firearms or anything like that, which I
Yeah.
guess you'll get into.
Yeah, it usually is. There was the one lady that was slowly poisoning her husband. She was putting, what was it, coolant, and then he kept getting sick, going in the hospital, and she was going with him, playing it off like, but it was real small amounts.
Yeah, yeah.
And then eventually she stepped it up.
There was a mother who did that to her own son, but it was with salt.
Salt?
Salt.
What?
Too much salt in your body can kill you.
So was she doing little amounts of salt over a period of time?
And he would get admitted because it would cause him to have seizures and all sorts of things. So he was the way she got caught was she was in her hospital room and they had a camera that was monitoring him. And he was doing really great throughout the day. Then she took him in the bathroom. Like 10 minutes later, after they came back out, he started having seizures and everything. They tested his blood and it came back with a high level of salt. Too much salt will poison you.
Wow. I know there was that one nurse, we're just making some small talk here. We'll get to it here. Just give us a minute. But there was that one nurse, and there's a Netflix documentary on her where she was doing insulin into patients to kill them that were not diabetics.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I did not realize that can kill. She was switching out the bags when they were out, insulin and putting it up there. And she was killing all these people at different hospitals. And they couldn't figure it out. These people were just dying. And then they looked into it and they're like, well, we're missing this from the stock room, what's going on here? So, yeah, it's a pretty neat watch. I'll have to try to find the name of it. You guys can watch it.
But hospital related. You got to find that commonly occurring theme, like what's going on, what's happening, making these people take a dive.
There's also a really interesting way, and if we ever hear of this happening, we know where they heard it from and did this. If you inject air into an IV line, it'll make an air bubble and go straight to the heart and kill somebody. It's like an instant death.
Yeah, please don't try that, anybody. I will deny ever owning this show.
We will just know exactly where you got this from.
I will deny it. I'll blame the girl behind me. I'll say it's her fault. So, anyways, sorry, we just thought we'd go on a little rant there. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, Aileen didn't do any of those things that we were talking about. She was a murderer. She was born Aileen Carol Pittman on February 9th, 1956. She was married to a 16-year-old mother. Her name was Diane Wuornos. And her father, who was 20 at the time, Leo Pittman. They were both married. They got married when Diane was 14 and Leo was 18. So there was a 4-year age difference. How do you get married at 14?
I don't know. They don't want Romeo and Juliet do something like that. But I think people didn't live nearly as long, so you wanted to do that at an earlier age, I would imagine. But
That's
maybe,
wild.
maybe those rules weren't in place. I don't know. When did they come out and say that you couldn't get married until you're? I have no idea.
Right. So they got married in 1954. In 1955 of March, they had a brother. She gave birth to her son, Keith. They ended up getting divorced in December of 1955, 2 months before Aileen was born. Now, people say it's Aileen or Eileen, so if I say it wrong,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but there's two different ways
The way
everybody
it's
says it.
spelled, it looked like Aileen to me.
And then you hear
Yeah.
it as Eileen.
Yeah, I know. Some people.
After her parents' divorce, her
Let's
father
call her
left.
Lee.
Lee. We could call her Lee.
We'll call her Lee anyway.
Well, she went by Lee
Yeah,
at
there
one
you go.
point.
Reminds me of the
Make it easy.
one-legged waitress Eileen that works at IHOP. Oh, sorry.
Her father left after the divorce. By the time Aileen was 4 and Keith were 5, her mother realized that she couldn't handle having 2 kids under 2. She ended up abandoning them in January of 1960 with her grandparents. That would be Lori and Britta Wuornos. Now, Britta was a huge alcoholic. Lowry.
Doesn't
Oh
it
yeah, like
pronounce it Lowry?
the seasoning
Yeah,
salt.
because I thought he sounded like seasoning salt. Someone
Seasoning
says
salt and a
something
water
like-
filter.
Yeah, and a water.
These two have been on that for 24 hours. I'm going to ignore it.
Much salt.
Britta was a huge alcoholic and had problems with alcohol, while Lowry, which was the grandfather, was a strict disciplinarian, and at one point, Aileen watched him drown a kitten.
A nice guy. How'd you do that?
Yeah. Okay.
Aileen was raised in the house. Lowry and Britta had 2 children of their own that lived there, besides Diane, who was the oldest. Stop hurting
Felt like
yourself.
those finger breaking.
Just a can of Monster. Monster, if you ever want to sponsor me, that'd be great. Thanks.
He
I'll
goes
drink
through a
shitload of your
lot.
Stuff.
Aileen found out that Lowry and Britta were not her parents when she was 10 years old. Diane didn't really see her much. She did say eventually down the road that when she gave birth, she thought that maybe Aileen had brain damage just because of how difficult the birth was. But also at 16, you're not ready for that.
Yeah,
What?
that's...
Ready to give birth at 16, you're saying?
Like your body's not, I mean, yeah, it could happen, but you shouldn't have it happen at 16.
No, and that's...
Especially in the 50s.
Yeah, they didn't have a,
Yeah.
what's it, a 16 and, pregnant MTV show then.
Mhm.
So it's not like they could... Because I feel like, honestly, no jokes aside, or all jokes aside, all jokes aside, I feel like a lot of them are now because it's portrayed in that show. And I just feel like more and more, I mean, yeah, they say like, oh, it's hard and don't do it and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like more and more younger girls are getting pregnant now, which is crazy because it wasn't really like that growing up.
Steroids
You know?
in the beef, man. Steroids in the beef.
Yeah, I will definitely second that.
Something. Well, social media, I don't know. What do you blame?
Right.
Yeah,
Pressures and such. I mean, pressure on kids nowadays, it's ridiculous that I'm sitting here saying this because it seemed like me yesterday. Pressures on kids nowadays, I mean, are far, far beyond what they were when we were kids.
oh yeah, they got social media and all that stuff.
The pressure to get engaged in that kind of behavior at an earlier age is much more
Yeah,
profound.
So by the time Aileen was 11, she was trading sexual favors for cigarettes, drugs, and food. She was also being sexually abused by her grandfather and was having relations with her brother, her 12-year-old brother.
That's just gross.
yeah, that's...
Mhm.
I mean, we're only 5 minutes into this, woman's childhood, and
Yeah.
it's already, disgusting. I mean, yeah.
In 1969, Leo Pittman, which was her father, was arrested and sent to life in prison after kidnapping and raping a 7-year-old child.
Okay.
Oh, the guy.
Aileen never got to meet him, so she didn't hear about that. Well, she knew, but She never met him. By the time she was between the ages of 11 and 13, she started running away and ended up in juvenile detention centers a lot. She did end up spending time in there for a while. When she was 14, she became pregnant. Now, it's alleged that it's quite possible that the child could have been her brother's. She gave birth to a little boy, was later adopted. It could have been her brother's. It could have been her grandfather's, or it could have been what some people said was a local pedophile who was in his 60s that would give her a ride under the assumption that he knew her grandfather.
Or it could have been a kid that she was trying to get cigarettes from.
Right.
I mean, who knows? I mean, and from all accounts, it sounds like she was a pathological liar anyway.
Yeah.
You know, she did a lot of things for attention and such because of abandonment issues and that sort of thing. I think, you know, we went into it briefly talking about it yesterday. She I believe, was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And if you know what that is, I mean, honestly, a lot of people that have that disorder, and I've known a few, typically, you know, it's like almost like it seems like an attention-seeking type of thing. But usually it's due to either abandonment or it's due to, it could be a number of things. Who knows? Maybe it's not even just environmental, but I think that probably makes it worse. But I've watched people with BPD fall down on the floor and flop around screaming just to get the attention of a room because they feel like they've lost attention of the people they're hanging out with. And it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm responding to a fan.
Oh,
well, Miss Fancy Pants over there now.
Hey,
That's what
like to
happens
interact.
when you're the director of social media, you know.
That's why you picked me.
You get to deal with all the behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, it's I mean, we've talked about it before, and compared to a lot of the cases that we've done so far, it sounds like her childhood is kind of the root.
Well, she was born into the shit show.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like it's kind of the root of why she ended up doing what she did.
It only gets worse.
oh yeah, it just
It only
leads
gets
to
worse.
emotional issues and instability and impulsivity, and I mean, a whole lot of things that she witnesses ends up probably driving, you know, her outward that kind of response down the road.
In 1971, her grandfather sent her to a home for unwed mothers in Detroit, Michigan. That's where she did have that difficult birth and gave birth to the little boy. Her grandfather forced her to give him up for adoption. That same year in July, Britta, who was suffering from, what was it, cirrhosis of the liver?
Yeah.
Cirrhosis of the liver due to her alcoholism, died. Just two-ish months after that, Laurie decided he didn't want Aileen in the house and couldn't take care of her and kicked her out. She ended up living in the woods, moving in cars, back and forth between juvie, just being a nomad. Not one place, just bouncing back and forth through everything.
Yeah. It's like she was a crazy gypsy.
So she gave birth and then put up for adoption. So we don't know anything else about her
Not
kid.
about the child, no. That's
boy,
the most.
boy, girl,
It was a boy.
a boy. Okay,
Little boy.
That's right. You did say that.
A
Kind of make you
difficult
wonder,
birth, but
though.
he
I
was given
mean,
up.
but he's probably still out there somewhere.
Probably is, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to know that's his real mother if he was adopted as an infant
No.
and she was forced to give up all rights. You wouldn't know, especially if it's a closed adoption. You can't find that out.
Kind of a terrible.
I don't know though. You think with today's technology and all that, with records and everything, you think
If he did like an ancestry DNA and it popped up on that, he would find out that way.
Yeah.
100%. Because
Which,
her
you never know.
DNA is in the system.
How crazy would that be? Boy, I feel bad if the boy was still alive. You know.
Yeah. So we know she was exchanging sexual favors when she was 11. 1971, after she got kicked out, is really when she started prostituting herself. So she was selling her way to get across the country, pretty much. In 1976, Laurie couldn't take it anymore. He didn't want to be alone. He didn't want to have family. He didn't want to deal with any of that. He offed himself. in his car in the garage by carbon monoxide poisoning.
I feel like that'd be a slow way to go.
You just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would take a little bit to get there, right? I mean,
I don't know.
depends on how he did it. If he waited for the whole garage to fill up, or if he, I know some people like connect like a flex line to their exhaust and run it into the.
He
Yeah,
probably
the
just
car
waited for
window.
the garage to fill up, left his windows down. Because it was in his car that he was found.
I don't know. I'd rather just not find out.
Yeah. That same year, Aileen got married. Care to guess how old her one and only husband was?
80.
60. She was 20. She married him for his money. He was a wealthy yachtman.
Oh,
Of course.
You want to know how long the marriage lasted?
what?
It was shorter than Kim Kardashian's shortest wedding.
Oh, she
They-
went there.
They were only married for 2 weeks before she hit him and beat him with his own cane.
Wow.
Restraining order, anyone?
Pleasant lady.
Yeah, she seems like a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He said that she had an awful temper, like she was uncontrollable, ungovernable is what he said when he was interviewed. Shortest marriage on record.
Wow. Okay, she sounds like a real go-getter.
But I got to be honest. I mean, if you're going to look at that, look at this lady. If you're 60 and you got a bunch, and you're going to go buy yourself a wife, why?
She hoarded herself to him.
Well,
That's
no,
what it was.
Why buy her? Why go? Why you can buy?
But-
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
But-
she also had that flame accident, so she was scarred up and beat up on her face.
I think a lot of it is that it's just for the company, just to have somebody there to talk to
Yeah,
is
before
what a
he
lot
dies.
of them older guys do. And I saw a lot of that when I worked at one of my previous jobs. May or may not have been a strip club. Not the point of the story. Was a lot of older men would come in there, and it was just literally to have the company. They wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't get dances half the time. They would just want them to sit and talk with them
Just to
for
have a
2
conversation.
hours.
Yeah.
Right.
And they
Yeah.
would pay them for their time for just sitting there.
Right.
And then they would buy the girls their drinks. And a lot of times the older guys, they wouldn't drink.
Yeah.
They'd have a pop or something, But it was
Yeah, they just want that attention and that somebody to conversate with.
Yeah, think about it. You have a decent looking girl sitting there with you talking to you for 2 hours. Probably the guy went home and felt great about himself,
No, but
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, but Eileen Wuornos, she wasn't exactly
No.
like a knockout. Get yourself a nice little Asian.
Oh,
Teach
We
her
gotta
how-
go. We gotta go that
speak up.
route, right?
Whatever. I mean,
Ukrainian.
You could import something if you get the right amount.
mostly the Russians.
That's great. Moving on.
In the 1970s and 80s, she was arrested multiple times. Oh, wait, I forgot one important detail. That brother that she was banging,
Oh, don't say banging, please. That's not funny.
Let's
that
word
brother,
it something else.
that brother that she was
Relations.
having relations with, having awful, you don't like religion.
No, that's fine. Relations better.
That brother that she was having relations with died 2 months after her grandfather. So
And-
now everyone is gone in her family.
And he was how old when he died? Do we know?
I don't remember. Oh, 46. It was in 1976
okay.
that he died at
Okay.
46 years old. She is not winning this game.
No, she's
Not the
she's
family
getting hit
game.
with a lot. Wow. What did he died from cancer, right?
Esophageal cancer. So
Okay.
throat cancer.
Throat cancer. Smoker.
I don't know. There isn't a lot about her brother.
Well, yeah, because they're not really gonna cover a whole lot on him. But wow, so yeah, she's already been hit between when she was what 9, 10, all the way up, and then now she's lost everybody.
Yeah. Her
Right, the
mother
family,
abandoned
yeah.
her, didn't have anything to do with her until after her trial.
Wow.
Yeah, the dad was gone.
Dead.
Yeah.
So she lost her grandmother, grandfather, brother, dad, and her mom pretty much had nothing to do with her. And then those 2 siblings that she grew up with, Lowry and Britta's children, she I don't know what happened to them. There's not a lot of information on them. By the time she hit the 1970s and 80s, she had already been in and out of jail for multiple crimes. Forging checks, robbery, breaking and entering, stealing cars, all sorts of different crimes. One of them, when she was drunk, landed her in jail. She tried to rob a convenience store in her bikini.
What in the world?
In a
What
bikini.
did she think she was going to get away with it because she was trying to look hot or something?
Well, she was a prostitute at the time, so maybe she thought if she was dressed in there and went in, she'd be good to go.
She had to have been drunk or on drugs or something.
She was very drunk when
yeah,
she
who
did
the hell
that.
Like, I'm not going in and trying to like rob a store in a pair of grape smugglers. I mean, I'm not. I guess you're not gonna really like, like that one lady trying to steal the chainsaw. You're not fitting that in a pair of bikini briefs.
No.
You know,
The lady tried to steal the chainsaw.
probably wouldn't serve a. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd make you more noticeable too. No.
Oh yeah, you're gonna stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh
I mean,
my gosh,
and in a bikini. I mean, come on.
this just gets better and better. That is just, I don't understand that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to rob this store, and let me put on a thong and a top here, and nobody's gonna pay any attention to me when I walk in there. First thing the clerk's gonna be like, "What in the hell is going on?" Um, and then they're gonna be following her in the store.
Yeah.
When they see that, they're gonna be like, all right, we got to see. And then they're going to see her. Where's she going to stuff all this stuff, whatever she's trying to take? Where's she going to stuff all that at? You don't really have any pockets.
I mean, unless she's trying to steal bikinis. I mean,
Well,
maybe.
Yeah, I guess she could stick it down in the flaps, but I don't know.
Additional bikinis on there. You have like 7 on and walk out of the store. I don't know. They're just going in to get dressed.
She's going in to get dressed. He's going to be here most of the night, folks.
Hey.
He's on a
In the
roll.
bikini. She wasn't going to get dressed.
Yeah. No
She
shit.
didn't have a backpack.
Yeah. This is why we call her I Love My Blaine.
Yeah.
Because
I'll be here all night. Every in 1978, Aileen decided to try and kill herself again. She had tried to commit suicide about 6 times before that. This time,
probably really bad at it. Then. I mean,
6
honestly,
times.
like,
6 times.
really bad at it. You suck at trying to kill yourself.
This time, she shot herself in the stomach with a .22.
in the stomach.
In the stomach.
We talked about that last night too. Like, out of all places, like, you're not really probably going to be, successful at it the first time going there.
Right.
That's like trying to kill yourself and shooting yourself in the leg.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds awful. Yeah, I'm gonna have a femoral bleed that I'm gonna die from today.
Yeah, what a way to go.
Yeah, but even in the stomach, like, I'm glad that we live in the time period that we live in, because I think one of my biggest fears is like being impaled and dying from it. So fortunately, we don't have to worry about like swords and things, and people like running us through with spears or shooting us with bow and arrows. So, like, in my mind, for some odd reason, that's petrifying to me. It's like, some people have drowning, some people have fire, close spaces. Mine is like death by sword. I think is,
Who's going to ram you with a sword?
Well, still, like, it's still just a long, shitty death, right?
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
would be the
but
worst.
Same thing with shooting yourself, especially since I would have to imagine, since her weapon of choice ends up being a .22 long rifle. If you shot yourself in the stomach with a .22, you're going to be waiting a damn long time to die. Like, make yourself a fucking sandwich, because you're going to be hanging out for a little while. Like, you probably die from not eating before you died from that bullet.
Yeah, that's just about as bad of a gun choice as, Dennis had last week when we were talking about that. When he went in and killed the...
I mean, a .22, man. I mean, that's not... Unless it bounces around inside your body or something like that. It's not that damning.
No. Now, May 1st, 1984, Aileen was arrested, this woman, for trying to forge checks and cash them at a bank. under a made-up alias.
Because that's going to go well.
Whose checks were they?
Oh, we talked about this last night. I can't remember her name.
It was
Something. Her last name started with an S.
An S name, everybody.
Yeah, an S name. Was it the same one that she tried to use the different name to sign in at the hotel with?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's right there. That's all right.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Well, regardless, she tried to forge some checks.
She was also named a suspect in a theft of a revolver and ammunitions in November of 1985. In 1986, she met 24-year-old Tyria Moore at a gay bar in Daytona called Zodiac. They were together for 4.5 years.
But then a lot of people, they seem like they called her Tyree, which is weird because that's not how it's spelled. Once again,
Yeah, it's either
I have
Tyree or
difficulty with that, but it seemed like a lot of people were saying Tyree or
Tyree or Tyria or Ty or
Yeah,
whatever.
a couple
Rhea.
different ways, yeah.
Whatever.
Aileen was also going by the nickname of Lee for most of that time. So she would be Lee Wuornos. Sounded manly.
Well, whatever.
No,
But we can
okay.
call her Lee anyway because that's easier than Aileen, Eileen,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eileen.
Tyria or Tyria, however it's said, or Tyree.
Just call her Ty. How's
Ty.
that?
Ty. We'll call her Ty. Was a maid. She worked in a hotel. She also was a big bookkeeper. So she worked. Aileen was extremely jealous. If anybody came in contact with her, talked to her, any social interactions, she would get jealous. She was very possessive of her.
Well, when you have that kind of an abandonment issue and you lose everybody you ever cared for and everybody just kind of walks out of your life, you're going to be pretty hostile about the idea of anybody walking away from you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
One of the things that Aileen said about her in this comment, and this is a quote from her, which was why I needed the notepad. At her trial, at her quote was, "It was love beyond imaginable. Earthly worlds cannot describe how I felt about," I'm going to just call her Ty, felt about Ty. Before she was executed down the road, she said she still loved her and wanted to be back with her. She was dying. You're not getting back.
Well, yeah. She was afraid of, like Chris was saying, because, she was pretty much, abandoned, and she was afraid of losing her, and
Right.
it was her, I would imagine, first or true love.
Yeah. November 30th, 1989, which is only 5 months after I was born. So the
Damn.
30s.
That
Yeah.
ought to say something about Classroom Jackie.
Hi, I'm still a youngin'. Her first victim, her first murder, was Richard Mallory. He was 51 years old and owned an electronics store in Clearwater, I believe. Yeah. Wuornos claimed that he had tried to beat, rape, and sodomize her after he drove her to an abandoned area for sexual services. Allie was Wuornos' first victim. She said that was self-defense. Later, it came out she only did it because he wanted his money. Just the money. It was $20. That's all he had. That's it.
Death for $20.
That's for $20.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you want money, but you pick the guy that owns an electronics store. No offense to anybody that owns an electronics store, but back then, I don't think you're really making a whole lot because there wasn't a whole lot of electronics.
Yeah, right. What were you selling? The 8-track.
Yeah, right. I'm selling an 8-track over there for about $5, Wow.
When his body was recovered in December of 1989, it was found that he had 7 shots. 2 of them went through both lungs. He died from being shot in the lungs. So pretty much, what would that be, like drowning in his own blood?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Lungs don't work that well with holes in them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh God! Like I said, he's going to be here all night. He's really on. He's on a roll. Take him to get a pot pie at the local grocery store, and this is where he's at.
I'm just making astute observations. This is observational things. I'm just, holes, lungs. It's not good.
Observations from Chris.
Observational, Chris.
Now, one of the interesting things about Aileen, she killed 6 victims in 1 year.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
she
a
was
lot.
busy. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she's
was
busy. She's working a full-time gig.
Yeah.
Busy. Her second victim was David Spears. That was in 1990. May 19th, 1990, he went missing. He was discovered June 1st, 1990, along US 19 in Citrus County. He was shot 6 times with a .22 pistol. This is her weapon of choice, the one that she was in trouble for stealing.
Well, she changed, didn't she? Because it was a .22 revolver.
Well, what confuses me too about this, because previously in the first guy, here's the detective and Chris coming out. More
Good, we need
observational
this.
Chris. The first guy that died, how many times was he shot?
7.
That is ridiculous. You know why? Because she'd have to reload the damn thing. Because a revolver is 6 shots.
Spears was
Especially
shot
with a
6
22.
times.
So she unloaded that gun on Spears.
Mm-hmm.
But a revolver typically is 6 shots.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 shots.
You have to remember, she also stole all of that ammunition for it.
Right. But what I'm
So she
saying
had
is
plenty.
to kill somebody in a certain situation, such as the crime of passion, typically a crime of passion will have a lesser charge due to the fact that it's like you walking in on your spouse or somebody cheating on you and you kill them.
I'm a passion.
That's not necessarily a premeditated murder because you didn't anticipate this taking place and how you would react to it. But when you react to something and she's saying that she was defending herself because these people were trying to rape her or beat her or whatever the case may be, this is a crime of passion. But your crime of passion ends when you're standing there having to reload the damn revolver to shoot him again.
Overkill at that point.
Yeah.
Just overkill.
It's not overkill. You're taking the time to stand there saying, do, I shot you 6 times, and I'm going to reload it, and I'm going to shoot you one more time. Maybe you still move. Like, I'm not saying you had time to cool off, but I see it's pretty damn ridiculous that your rage extended into the past you standing there having to reload the gun.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
wild.
get what you're saying. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
He was only 47 years old. Her next victim, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce this last name because it is ridiculous.
No, let's just go with a letter.
Her next victim is Charles Edmund. We'll call his last name C. Just the letter C. He was 40 years old, and I believe he was a part-time rodeo worker.
Yep.
Part-time rodeo worker. He was murdered on May 31st, 1990. On June 6th, his naked body was found in Pasco County? Pasco?
Yeah.
That'd be Pasco, right?
Yeah,
You've been to Florida. I've
been
not.
to Florida a lot, but
I've
I
been to Florida,
did not spend time studying the
Pasco.
county names.
Well, shame on you, Chris.
I got the best damn orange I've ever eaten off of a tree in Ocala at a putt-putt golf course. You want an orange? Anybody want an orange? Go to Ocala.
Now, you thought that Richard Mallory was shot an excessive amount.
Oh, yeah.
Charles was shot 9 times with that .22 revolver.
Isn't that pretty ridiculous, though?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that she's reloading this thing.
But this time they said it was a .22 caliber weapon. It may not have been a revolver at that time.
So, .22 caliber weapon. So they're specifying they don't really know what it was then. They just know that it was a .22.
Yeah, I mean, they kept saying pistol, is what they said.
Yeah.
And then I heard a revolver at some point.
And then just caliber weapon.
Just a .22 caliber weapon. I would imagine it was probably a pistol. It'd make more sense in these cases if it was a semi-auto pistol.
And this part here, sorry to
No, you're fine.
interject, but this part I don't get. The body had been wrapped in an electric blanket.
And it's Florida. And it was decomposing so badly being wrapped in there. And it was only 7 days since he died.
I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the blanket wasn't plugged in. But
he was in the highway.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here.
There's a random outlet right there.
Yeah,
Random
I'm
outlet.
going to say it was not. I'm sorry, folks, but I just had to say that. Sorry.
It'd be pretty wild if somebody actually went down the path. I mean, similar to what we talked about last week, where someone was actually doing something like that in order to skew the time of death. You know?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I get
but
what you're saying.
I highly doubt that Aileen.
She was not that smart.
No, and
No.
whatever intelligence she had. I mean, when she went to school, how many grades did she make it through?
Well, she got kicked out when she got pregnant.
Right.
So she was 14.
Yeah. So she was a freshman,
8th grade maybe at that time.
8th grade freshman, whatever.
So that was the extent of her education.
So
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, I mean, maybe she had some street smarts, but I doubt she was trying to be crafty and fool the coroner or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think she had a 1,000-foot
These forensic guys
extension cord hooked into a generator to run a blanket.
Right. Now, witnesses did see her with Charles' car, and she had also pawned off a gun that belonged to him. I don't know what kind of gun it was, but what if she used his gun to kill him?
That could have been. I mean,
Especially if it took 22s.
yeah. I mean, because I had learned last night, and I was telling you guys this, and this still, boggles my mind. Back then, they said pawn shops were required to take a thumbprint
Mm-hmm.
on the receipt of items that they collected. And I didn't know that because I pawned something years ago, probably freaking 16, 17 years ago, and they never took a thumbprint.
This
from
could also
me.
be a state law. I mean, if this was in
Yeah.
Florida.
When did driver's license come out? When did people start having to have one of those?
Oh, I don't know.
Or some
Yeah,
kind
I
of
don't know.
identification that said, like, had a picture on it?
It might not have.
Because maybe that's why they did the fingerprints.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if you don't, if it's like,
that's a fine question. I'm sure it wasn't.
Driver's license became a thing in the late 19th century. The first license issued in the cities like Troy, New York in 1899.
Okay, so it's been a damn
yeah,
long
so
time.
they would have had one then.
Yeah.
Her next victim is 65-year-old Peter Seams. He was a retired merchant seaman. In June of 1990, he left Jupiter, Florida for Arkansas. On the 4th of July, his car was found in Orange Springs, Florida. Moore and Wuornos were seen abandoning his car, and her handprints were lifted from the interior door. Sadly, his body has never been found.
Oh, wow.
So he is still somewhere out there.
I didn't know
Well,
that. I didn't know there was
yeah,
one that
that's-
hadn't been found.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
terrible. Like, they didn't try to get that out of her.
No, closure for the family.
No. Well, at this point, wouldn't the skeletal remains be just ashes now? Like, they'd be gone because it's in Florida.
Well, you can still find. Well, you find some
Bones,
teeth.
Teeth.
Or
Yeah, because
teeth,
teeth don't
yeah.
go away.
teeth.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one of the few things pigs don't eat either.
I'm not going
Yeah.
to ask how you know that. But
Probably
anyways,
be more unfortunate to die in Texas because there's a lot of feral hogs.
Yeah, they'll eat you.
Yeah.
They'll eat everything.
Right.
You can learn a lot on the internet
I don't
and in
know how
books.
any of these guys know anything. So I didn't do background checks on them. Go ahead.
You just live next to us.
Anyways, on that note,
Her next victim is Troy Burris. He was 50. He was a sausage salesman.
what a job. What a job.
I
Sorry
sell
to any
sausages.
No offense to any sausage salesman
Hey.
out there.
I happen to enjoy the maple.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yes.
Maple's good.
Maybe dabble in the chorizo.
And the andouille. The kielbasa.
I don't know. Well, back then you had a lot more people traveling around selling meat. Now you see this guy selling steaks out of his trunk in the parking lot of Walmart. You got a question, right?
Right.
I'm going to put a poll up on the Facebook page this week for anybody that wants me to unplug their microphones. Let me know.
We'll also do one where I have to come in a onesie or just sit in the closet for the whole episode.
What? She's volunteering herself now for these ridiculous things.
We'll do
a
some fun
onesie
things.
and to sit in a closet.
I'll be the spooky girl in
Oh.
the closet.
I don't know how you do it, Chris.
David just sent me.
Was
I'm
losing
sorry,
his
that
comment.
caught me off
Sitting on
guard.
his chair. David just sent me over a picture of the gun used by Aileen Wuornos during her murder spree, which is a 22 caliber revolver with 6 rounds.
Ooh, show it to the. Can you get up and show it to
So-
him?
Yes, we will have Chris. You will experience Chris get out of his chair for the very first time, folks. This is a
Yeah, we're gonna start having some pictures to show you guys from now
He's
on.
old.
Pardon us.
There you go. Wow. So it's still, though, I get what Chris is saying. I mean, the whole 7-shot and 9-shot thing, you're going beyond this passion thing and all that, you know?
Well, it seems she finally got her killing under control with the amount of bullets she used, at least for this victim. He was only shot twice.
Oh.
Just twice. He was found along the highway in a wooded area in Marion County on August 4th, 1990. Unlike the other few victims, his body wasn't naked.
So there must not have been. So the other one sounds like it might have been going towards sexual favors and then led to the killing.
Now, some of these guys did just pick her up to be nice. She said some of them just offered her a ride, things like that. Didn't want to have her for sex, just to give her a ride where she needed because she was hitchhiking.
Okay. So that sounds like that's what this guy was doing then. He wasn't trying to go for any sex.
No.
Because his clothes were on and stuff. Okay.
Her next victim?
Just don't.
Yeah, this next victim's got quite the fun name, and she's been worried about it for the past couple of days that she's going to say it wrong. So,
Charles Dick Humphreys.
Yeah. She really had to emphasize that, too. Dick.
Really third grade humor.
Yeah, that's all right. I
Yeah.
don't care how old you are.
Really.
I'm humorous in myself. I'm funny enough myself. Sorry, brain not braining. He was 56. He's was a retired United States Air Force major. He was also a former state child abuse investigator. So, I don't know, maybe she felt like he could have failed her, or like he failed her before she killed him. He was a child abuse investigator.
That,
Yeah.
But she probably didn't know that going into it with him, though. You know what I mean? It's not like she's staking these people out.
Right.
Right, yeah.
She's just randomly hitchhiking.
He was also a former police officer.
Yeah, it wasn't by chance. I mean, it's not like printed on the side of your car or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's seeking out.
That's got, on a side note, that's got to be a heck of a job, though, man. That's got to be a tough job of child abuse.
That'd be terrible.
That'd be horrible. I couldn't even, fathom.
No way that they are compensated fairly for what they do.
No.
I mean, I know, like, it's crazy. Same thing. I wanted to be an EMT at one point in my life and do the life flight nurse and thing. But after I had my kid, I could not pursue that because if it was a child, I would just feel, it would be awful.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely awful. He was murdered September 11th, 1990. His body was found naked one day after. Oh, sorry. He was fully clothed. He had been shot 7 times in his head and his torso.
Dude, I'm so confused by that.
They also
it drives me nuts, and it's not like just once or twice.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
She also stole his car.
Yeah. 7 times. Yeah. I hadn't put much thought into it before you mentioned it. Now it is. It does, bother me because it's like you took that time to reload for one bullet. I wonder if she just reloaded one bullet or if she reloaded all 6 again.
Like, yeah, she unloaded like 6 bullets and then put one in there and I'm going to shoot you in the head.
Yeah.
Or what was the reason behind the...
Unless she had such bad shots the first 6 times that she did another one and the 7th one did it.
Yeah, like she shot them in their arms, their legs, their like upper areas where it wasn't going to be deadly.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know.
They say that these guys seem like they were like, turning or twisting or trying to escape her object.
Yeah, trying to get away.
Yes.
Being shot, right?
Yeah, that was with a few of them. I do remember that. Yep.
So she wasn't like an excellent marksman. She wasn't like just assassinating these people with skill. She was out of a flurry of whatever. They probably got the first one and said, holy shit, she's shooting me, and started trying to escape.
Yeah.
But still, at the same time, like you're saying, to do that and then go and reload the gun and then shoot him one more time. Maybe she happened to have 3 bullets in there and shot him 3 times and then reloaded. I don't know.
It's crazy, though. It is weird.
Now, her next victim is going to be Walter Antonio. He was 61 years old. He was a trucker, a security guard, and a reserve police officer. On November 19th, Antonio's nearly naked body was found near a remote logging road in Dixie County. He was shot 4 times. 5 days later, his car was found in Brevedek. Now, with all of these victims, Aileen would take something and pawn it. Like you said back then, they needed to have fingerprints. Not all of them had fingerprints on file for this stuff.
Well, not all. I mean, you're running pawn shops, and if you've never been to Florida. I don't know. Tim, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you driven through Central Florida? I mean, it is like a wasteland.
Yeah, it was
mean,
mostly when I was a kid, yeah.
There ain't a whole hell of a lot going on there, and some of the towns you drive through are not like you driving through our city or something like. No, they're not. They're not like dangerous areas or anything like that. It's like driving through the frickin' bayou.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's very backwoodsy kind of situations, and then they run a pawn shop down there. These guys aren't playing by the rules, you know. All these guys aren't saying, "Well, make sure we get that fingerprint." No.
Yeah.
That is certainly not going to be the case.
In July of 1990, Wuornos got her fingerprints were caught from that receipt, so taken. She and Moore were caught abandoning Seam's car, and her handprint was found there. On January 9th, 1991, Wuornos was arrested at the Last Resort bar as Lori Grody. That was one of the names she was using for those checks.
Oh,
and
Lord,
it ended up being that was a real person, and the police asked if she had been there in those places where those checks were being used.
Yeah, and that was the name that she used at the hotel that they were frequent.
She was using the name as Lee for that one hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was arrested under the presence of an outstanding warrant.
Yeah, it was a undercover officer that found her in there and then was talking with her. And they were like hanging out and shooting pool and having drinks and stuff. And I remember too in the Netflix, documentary that he said he was shooting pool and he went to lean in to shoot and she just turned like that and just hit him over the back with the pool stick.
Yeah.
And he turned around and he looked at her and he's like, "What the fuck was that for?" And she's like, "I don't know. It just kind of came over me, And then they went back to shooting pool. He's like, "Yeah, I just kind of shrugged it off."
Is that the bipolar disorder?
No, I don't know. I mean,
she also had antisocial personality disorder.
I know a lot of people with disorders that hit me with a pole cue.
You're going to end up with coffee everywhere.
It's fine. I'll call the maid.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of things that issues you can have mentally that make you just randomly strike somebody with a pole cue. I mean, it just that's pretty odd.
I think because he said that he pulled out a wad of money to get her a drink in the beginning, I think that she tried to hit him hoping he'd drop down to the ground and she could take the wad of money.
Probably.
But he was a bigger dude.
Right.
And he said he just dropped to his knee, but then he was fine.
And then she probably said, "Oh shit, let me just play this off like I was just kidding."
What the hell was that for? I don't know. It was an accident, but yeah. Or it could have been one of those, she could have had one of those blackout moment type things that we talked about at one point too.
Well,
I mean, I don't know, but
who knows?
I just thought that was pretty wild.
Yeah, no, and I think during that situation where that undercover officer, they even took him out of there, and he actually, he kept up the show, even as when she was being arrested, they put them both into the back of the cop car and arrested him as well.
Yeah,
to make it seem like he was part of the issue too, to make sure that she didn't view him as being an undercover cop.
Yeah, he was fighting with the cops, wrestling with them, saying that he didn't have a license and this and that. Yeah.
What an actor. I mean, the guy was excellent.
Sorry, go ahead, Classroom Jackie.
I'm kind of completely lost.
Oh, wow.
I was thinking about how you said you would call your maid. I think she's over here about to lose her head.
That's my girlfriend. But anyways, the maid's behind me in the swing.
She comes down in the middle of the night.
Yeah. All right. Let's leave that alone.
Yeah. That deserves some applause.
A few days later.
I love my point.
A
Going forward.
All right.
Hey.
couple days later, police located Tyria Moore in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She agreed to come back and help them get a confession out of Aileen for all of the murders. It took 4 days and police guidance on how to talk to her about these to get her to confess. January the 16th of 1991.
Thanks for playing.
She's on a roll tonight, folks. The 16th of 1991.
16.
We're going to pick a month, so we're going to let the fans kind of go into their brains and think. The 16th of 1991. What months do you guys want it to be?
That's like 3 weeks after January, March.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Laughing at me. That's great.
Hey, look.
Sorry, my brain had to reset for a second.
Okay.
January 16th, 1991, Aileen finally confesses to all of the murders.
And that was
7.
because her girlfriend got her to do it. She was
Yeah.
talking to her in prison on the phone, right?
Yeah, her girlfriend was talking to her. It was all recorded. She finally confessed.
Yeah, she went in there with a wire on.
Her girlfriend's very lucky that, because I would have been, petrified that I was going to go down with her,
Mm-hmm. Well, so the only reason she agreed was because she got immunity from being prosecuted.
Oh, yeah. I think she was terrified. She was going to get assessed or something
Yeah.
like that.
For
at
the car
least.
thefts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very least. I
Yeah.
mean,
Now, sorry,
No, I don't think she knew about all 7 of them, though, right?
I don't.
Her girlfriend, I think she only knew about a few of them there in the beginning.
She
Yeah.
said that after the first murder that she had came home and told her that she killed someone, but didn't tell her all the rest of the details.
She had to have a pretty damn good idea because, quite honestly, like, when she's coming home and giving her and pawning shit and bringing home money and that kind of thing, like, this has got to come from something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially when she knows she doesn't have a job.
Well, she was also a prostitute, so
But
yeah.
you left out an important part. She stated in the interrogation she was a professional prostitute,
oh yeah,
not just a prostitute. And that's what I want to know is, what is the difference between a professional? Like, is there a college course on prostitution that I'm not aware of?
Like, are there scouts? Do you go pro?
Yeah,
Like,
do you get
do
drafted?
you start out in strip clubs?
There's a draft.
It's a draft. Yeah, do you start out in strip clubs and then you work? Because whatever college course there is teaching that, I'd like to apply to be a teacher. Maybe I can give some pointers. I don't know. But I've been around the world, okay? Anyways, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, stick to it. Out of a completely weird thing that I did find, somebody adopted her. 1991, she was legally adopted by 44-year-old Arlene Crayell, with whom Wuornos had no contact, no relation. She adopted her after she saw her in the newspaper.
How do you get adopted at 30?
She had no legal parents, no legal guardians because they were both dead.
Yeah, but I can't get adopted now. I'm 41. Anybody want to adopt me? Anybody got some money? They
You
wanna
can't
adopt?
have him, he's mine.
You sound like an auction. Anybody want to adopt? I got $5. $5.
Yeah,
Can't have him, he's mine.
got like some crazy inheritance and want to adopt. I just don't think at 35 that's on.
Could have been different back
No,
then
look
too.
at him. You have a phone.
I'm not gonna.
Wow, such aggression here in the studio.
Serious. Moving forward.
January 14th, 1992, Aileen went to trial for the murder of Richard Charles Mallory. Although previous convictions were normally admissible in criminal trials, under Florida's Williams rule, which means that they can bring up past convictions, past issues, all sorts of stuff from her record into this, that was able to be used. It was allowed to introduce evidence related to her other crimes to show a pattern of illegal activity. On January 27th, 92, Wuornos was convicted of Mallory's murder with help from Moore's testimony. At her sentencing, psychiatrists for the defense testified that Wuornos was mentally unstable. They diagnosed her at that time with borderline personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. She was sentenced to death for that one. It took 12 months for that, though.
Well, I mean, she didn't sit on death row real long, though, because Florida, Florida doesn't really play with that stuff. It's like when we talked about Randy Kraft. he's still on death row.
Yeah.
And he's in California, and he's 80, and I forget when he went in there for death row. I think he's been on death row now for like 35 years.
Mm.
Like, I think at this point they're just waiting for him to die because it's going to cost them less, you know?
Yeah.
But how do you sit on death row for that long?
Well,
I guess it depends on which state, you know?
yeah, you're in California and you punch somebody in the face, they just give you a hug and tell you to do better.
Give you a hug.
Do better.
Do you need a hug, little fella?
Interesting fact about Mallory, which was Richard, he had a record. He served time in prison in a maximum security correctional facility for providing remediation to sexual offenders. He had tried to rape somebody in the past. He was also known to, it was observed that he had strong sociopathic trends. The defense tried to use this as evidence to defend Wuornos, but the judge said no.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, she wasn't out there picking up, like, you know, these guys that were stopping to give her rides, especially if they were doing it on the assumption that they were going to receive sexual favors or anything like that. They weren't stopping and picking her up, and these aren't great, like, family guys that are, like, you know, have these perfect lives and such, you know. Man, a lot of those guys out there on the road or doing that kind of thing or not probably don't have some shiny history.
Yeah, true.
March 31st, 92, Wuornos pleaded no contest to the murders of Charles Richard Humphreys, Troy Burris, and David Spears, saying she wanted to get right with God. In her statement to court, she said, "I wanted to confess to you that Richard Mallory did violently rape me, as I've told you all. But these others did not. They only began to." On May 15th, Wuornos was given 3 more death sentences. By June of 92, she pled guilty to the other two murders. She received a total of 6 death sentences. And like I asked last night, does that mean that they bring you back and then kill you 6 times? And the 6 is the last?
Yeah, right. And then, yeah.
But you explained it, what that meant,
yeah,
which made
between
sense.
consecutive and,
Oh,
you know,
concurrent.
concurrent. Yeah.
Yeah, the difference, obviously being you can receive multiple sentences, and you know if they're served concurrently, then you're serving one basically at the same time, as opposed to consecutively, which means you're going to serve one after the next step, the next step, the next step. So, but yeah, you can get 6 death penalties. I mean, but obviously it really doesn't just kind of boot.
Mhm.
Like after the first one, you can't die the whole time. In actuality, it would be kind of neat if you could just bring them back and kill them again.
Well, you know, BTK did it. I mean, you
Probably,
know.
Yeah, but he
probably
was a
deserved
moron.
to-
Wow.
deserved to be brought back.
And you may be thinking, but she killed 7 people.
Yeah.
She ended up getting away with one of them because there was no evidence and the body was never recovered. So she didn't get charged with Peter Seam's murder.
Well, there was also one, too, that they said that was a John Doe. They didn't even have a name for her.
Right, and they still haven't been able to link that body that they found to her or anyone currently.
Yeah, but I think they said it was along the same region and it had the same evidence as the rest of them with
Right.
the revolver and that. So they kind of were assuming that it was most likely her, but it was a John Doe. They couldn't even,
Now,
identify.
by the time she had gotten all these death sentences, and she had been in jail for 10 years, sitting on death row, she tried telling these stories saying that she was getting raped, everything, but her stories kept changing. There were several inconsistencies every single time.
Oh, okay.
In an interview with a documentarian, his name is Nick Broomfield, Wuornos thought the cameras were off. She told him that it was in fact self-defense, but she could not stand being on death row, where she had been for 10 years at that point and just wanted to die. She got her wish.
Yeah, I wonder if that kind of helped push things along. Of course, I don't know. They probably all end up getting to that point, but it doesn't mean they're going to push it along faster.
She did try for an appeal. It kept getting turned down. She finally confessed and said, I killed those men, robbed them as cold as ice, and I'd do it again too. There's no chance keeping them alive. There's no chance in keeping me alive or anything, because I'd kill again. I have hate crawling through my system. I am so sick of hearing this she's crazy stuff. I've been evaluated so many times. I'm competent, sane, and I'm trying to tell the truth. I'm one who seriously hates human life and would kill again.
Well, after what she'd been through, I think honestly, I think that's what got her. I mean, trying to appeal or trying to get tried for, or trying to get away with a sanity plea or something like that is not really in the cards when you're shooting somebody multiple times, reloading their revolver, stealing material that they have, pawning it for money with the intent of sustaining your relationship and your livelihood with your other half. And I mean, there was intent just all over the place. It wasn't just kind of like, hey, I'm nuts, I killed that person. Like, this was a legitimate, thought out plan. You're doing it for a reason situation. And you just repeated it multiple times because you weren't being caught. So it seemed like a viable way to obtain money.
Yeah.
So you knew what you were doing. And fortunately, I think she got exactly what she had.
Yeah, I mean, and they had stated too, I don't know if you said it or not in the beginning, but she had also lived in and out of woods a lot and stuff too, you know.
She was a nomad. So was Moore.
Yeah. So, because I know they flew a lot of the same motel, and then woods and camping out and different things like that.
Yeah. In 2002, she did do a bunch of interviews with this gentleman. At one point, she turned on him, and it was pretty violently worded, what she said. She said, you sabotaged my ass. Society and the cops and the system. A raped woman got executed and was used for books and movies and shit. Her final on-camera words were, thanks a lot, society, for railroading my ass. One of her childhood friends later told Broomfield that her verbal abuse was directed at society and the media in general, not at him.
Regardless, I think a lot of people with BPD, and you go down that road, and it's just, in addition to the attention thing and that kind of situation, they also like to make sure that it's everybody else's fault but their own.
Yeah. It seems like she goes back and forth from, I did it, I killed him cold-blooded. Oh, wait. Well, the first one tried to rape me. Other ones were starting to.
Yeah, I got screwed. I'm the victim.
It was self-defense. I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs.
Well, on October 9th, 2002, Aileen got her wish. She was put to death by lethal injection.
What was her last meal?
A cup of coffee. She declined her last meal, which could be anything under $20. Instead, she received black coffee. Aileen Wuornos died at 9:47 a.m. She was the second woman in Florida and the 10th in the United States to be executed since 1976. Her last words, yes, I would just like to say I'm sailing with the Rock, and I'll be back, like Independence Day, with Jesus, June 6th, like the movie. Big mothership and all, I'll be back. I'll be back.
An interesting statement.
Yeah. With The Rock.
So
The Rock got brought into this.
Yeah, right. I mean, what's he got to do with it?
I guess she was a fan in like an Independence Day with Jesus. Jesus got brought into this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then June 6th, like the movie. Big mothership and all. Wow. That was a strong cup of coffee.
After her death, her remains were cremated, and she was scattered in Michigan under a tree by her friend. At Wuornos' request, Natalie Merchant's song Carnival from Merchant's album Tiger Lily was played at her funeral. There was no legitimate funeral. It was just her remains.
Yeah, I was going to say, people show up for that?
Yes.
I'm no longer listening. I'm going to take that song off of my playlist.
She said that Aileen said that she used to listen to that album for hours when she was on death row.
Wow. So this lady had quite the extensive, as far as the killings, I think we discussed it last night. she didn't. It's kind of like and I know it sounds, weird or wrong to say, but she kind of did like your traditional killing. I mean, gunshots.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She was, like I said, we needed a little palate cleanser, so be it,
Yeah.
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 from the
I mean,
from the gruesome.
Yeah.
She was diagnosed with a bunch of things, and I
She-
mean, by no means do I even want to insinuate that people that are diagnosed with these things, whether it be like you're saying BPD or otherwise, regardless of what it may be, does not make you a killer. I think that her upbringing and what she went through early on in her life and the abandonment and the relationship issues and what she had to do to achieve money, all things just went down a very dark road and led to what she saw to be necessity, and she probably had a hell of a disregard for human life.
Well, she scored on a psychopathy test checklist a 32 out of 40, and the cutoff is 30.
And
Well, she was
that
right near the.
so that determines what then?
That she has a psychopathic personality, and her psychotraumatic past are what is related to her crimes, as well as the sexual abuse and her selling herself damaged her.
Okay.
So if you're
Wow.
below 30, then you're
good.
You're good. Okay, so she was above the red line, which
Yeah.
is bad.
Yeah, so if you're below
all
30,
right.
you're good. If you are above 30, you're at 30, you're screwed.
Well,
You're a psycho.
I remember that next time I take that test.
That is the case of Aileen Wuornos. For once, I was actually prepared.
Wow. Well, you don't tell people that, people don't need to know. But now that you know that, folks.
Hey, half the time there is a mess on my desk. For once,
Well,
there isn't.
listen, it comes with the job, right? You can just blame it on that. But no, I think it's pretty much safe to say that what led her up to what she did was probably a lot of the childhood. And then, but like you were saying too, Chris, not everybody that has disorders and, illnesses and stuff turn into killers. It's a matter of how they control it and if they react on the thoughts and stuff that they have. That's what separates them from somebody that has a disorder, normally, to somebody that ends up turning into like her.
Well, yeah, and is it out of necessity? I mean, is it just due to, we've mentioned in the past, like just being, like labeling theory. You become a part of society that's been so marginalized that you feel as if you've been just kind of set aside. And I think sometimes due to that, it's like people that grow up in poverty. They don't. The idea of being successful or living a happy life and the American dream in general is not obtainable because you don't see anybody else obtaining that dream, and you're so set aside that it's just impossible to get there. So why not just lay down and just accept what you are and do what you got to do to get by. Unfortunately, in this case, regardless of whether or not the people that were picking her up were shitty people or not, they were still human beings and didn't deserve to kill.
Well, didn't she also say that one of the reasons she did it, like for killing them, is because she didn't want a witness or somebody who could testify against her for stealing the money? Because she was trying to keep Tyria and keep her happy.
Right, exactly. And I think the people that she was picking out were single middle-aged men, or not single, but I mean, there was one person in the car.
Mm-hmm.
There
she wasn't trying to kill multiple.
Yeah, she wasn't trying to hop into a car full of people.
Yeah. It's still though. It's a. And once again, I know it sounds messed up, but it's more of a laid back story to a point as far as the killings and stuff. I mean, it's wrong by far, but the childhood out of everything that we've covered so far, I think this takes the top of the messed up childhood.
It's definitely the worst so far.
So Jackie, we'll start with you as we rate on our fucked up scale of 1 to 10. Give us your point of view. What are you going to rate her And why?
I'm going to give her a 6.
Okay, and why?
She killed people. She killed out of necessity for herself. It wasn't, oh, I'm going to do it in self-defense. Oh, they were raping me. I'm doing it. It was for necessity for herself to keep her girlfriend happy so she didn't leave her due to all of those abandonment issues like we talked about. It wasn't bloody and gory. It was, yeah, maybe she couldn't shoot to save her life, but still it wasn't as bad as some of the other people we've talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
So 6 is fair. Yeah, definitely. I get where your point there.
And
Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
we were talking about the rating and how I rated Raider last week a 3. I've actually had a couple people of our fans push back on me for doing that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they think I should have rated him higher, but
You didn't tell me that.
I stand by the 3 because he doesn't deserve to be higher.
Wow. How many
Well,
people told you that?
3.
It was a very backwards way of kind of looking at it. You're taking it from a completely different direction, and he was just a real shit.
Right,
Yeah.
but I'm not giving him the satisfaction of being rated a 10.
That's ridiculous. Anyway, I would rate old Lee probably around a 4 or a 5, because I'm not giving her a pass because she killed out of necessity or anything like that. I gotta tell you, like the typical or random chain burger place was hiring her, Lee. It's just like the guy that stands outside of the store that we all hate to see near the intersection, and he put on his worst crappy clothes and went out to hold a sign to try to con us out of giving him his money. You're standing outside of a bunch of stores that have hiring signs. I just have an issue with that. Go ask somebody to give you a chance that you can actually make legitimate money. She looked at actually working for a living and having to work 10 hours to make $100 or $150 when she realized that she could go and work for an hour and make the same amount of money illegally with violence and harm being done to another human being. And she chose that path. And for that reason, you're a shit human being.
Yeah, it's true. You know what you just said, because I've always thought that too. These people that stand out there and stuff, and it's like, and all the time you spend out there, I mean, you could have gone in and got a job.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're in that bad of shape, like, I feel bad for you. Don't get me wrong. Like, if it's legitimate and it's real, I feel bad for you.
True.
Yes.
Yes.
I actually saw one of those people who claimed to be homeless the other day. It was Thursday. Get dropped off in a BMW to stand outside and sit on the ground in the cold and beg for money when they have money.
Yeah, I've seen that before too.
Yeah, they've been on the news. I mean, but there are legitimate people that need help.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah, there was one a few years ago who did that, but he had just lost his job.
Yeah, by all means, anybody. We're not sitting here dogging on anybody that has to do that. I mean, everybody's gone through, troubles in life. And hell, at one point I lived out of my car in a, grocery store parking lot. Long story, but I did, but everybody goes through shit.
They do.
So, yeah, we're not sitting here dogging, but there are some that you see where they're fully capable of where they could get a job. They're walking around fine. They're not, limping or having issues, or they're in a wheelchair or missing legs or body parts, So you're saying a 4 or 5?
Yeah. I'll go probably with a
4.5.
Yeah, she's trying to get you to go up now. I was gonna go 5, just because it's her childhood is mostly what's getting me to go a little bit higher on the scale. Because the childhood out of anybody that we've covered so far is probably the most messed up, bizarre. Everything she went through, I couldn't even fathom the stuff she went through, especially sleeping with your brother and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
and getting knocked up at 14.
Yeah, so I couldn't, and then being made to put your child up for adoption and stuff. I couldn't even fathom. And then you lose your dad, killing himself and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a 5. So yeah, so we've got You said a 6, and then 4, 5, and then 5. So there, now nobody can give her shit throughout the week. Now they'll probably just give us shit, but that's fine. But yeah, so anyways, like we said, did a little bit more of a laid back one, but it's still a really good story though. I learned quite a bit about her because I didn't know that much about her before this. I had heard of her, but I didn't know much about Lee. So interesting story, definitely, for sure. But and the fact that she was the first serial killer woman to ever be convicted in the country is a pretty big thing too.
She also had the nickname of the Damsel of Death and the American Boogie Woman.
Boogie Woman. Wow, Nightmare Before Christmas is ruined for me now. Anyways, though, once again, we thank you guys for joining in another show here, murder show. And as always, I got to plug all the social medias here. If you don't already follow us, we are on Facebook. Let's see, Instagram, Tiki-Taki, all that good stuff that the youngins like, you know. You won't see us on there doing any stupid dances, though. No trends. I'm not doing that crap.
But you might see us go live during an episode.
Yeah, we may end up doing that too. And if you don't already, subscribe to our channel here, please do me a favor, like, follow, click the little subscribe button. What that does is it will notify you every time we go live or beforehand. That way you'll keep in tune with the channel here. We're at 35 subs on this channel, and I swear to God, I've been stuck on 35 for like 2 weeks now. Somebody please help us get over to the 35 mark.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And we do have the contest going. I will let real quick Classroom Jackie kind of describe to you the contest that's going on until Halloween.
Yeah. So if you head over to our social pages, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, we have a $100 gift card giveaway to the Serial Killer store. This store is awesome. There are so many cool things on it. And no, we are not promoting the murderers, the killers, things like those. But this store put a lot of work into their items, and they are so cool.
Yeah, I do have a lot of cool stuff on there.
I found a couple of hoodies that I really want.
Oh, man.
There's a Ed Gein one that's pretty cool.
Chris, you better put in the OT.
Just head over to our social medias. All you have to do is really simple. Like us, follow us, and share. Tag your friends. The more people you get to join and follow us, the more chances you have to win. We will be doing the drawing on Halloween night and announcing the winners on our next show.
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, thanks for that. I'm scared now. I can't sleep tonight.
I'll announce it. We're good.
But also, too, next Saturday's show, we will let you know during the week, but it may be Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to have to be Sunday because we have that stuff going on.
Okay, so Sunday it's going to be, we still going to stick with the 8 p.m.?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay, so next Sunday the show is going to be moved, and we'll put out some reminders and stuff throughout the week. Next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of Saturday, and then after that we'll go back. Occasionally, winter gets a little crazy, stuff going on, so we may jump around with the date, but we will be sure to keep the shows going every week. We just may have to move days. Once again, we thank you guys for listening in to another week here, Murder Show. I am your host, Tim. Criminology Chris, do you have anything to tell everybody before we head on out of here?
Oh, thank you, everybody.
Chris says thank you, and watch out for those bikers.
Yeah, watch out for motorcycles.
Classroom Jackie, anything you want to say?
We'll see you at the same crime time and same crime place next Sunday.
Alrighty, everybody. Well, you heard it. We will see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. Other than that, get the fuck out of my house.
Oh,
Be good. Don't be bad people.